I saw this graph a day ago, and it was like the optimism chart for every team coming into this season, and we were at 98% of fans were optimistic going into this season. Me being one of them, I was very optimistic, and I am on the record on this show saying, no matter what, this project would boom. There's too much talent to fail, and I got it wrong. And the main reason I think we've gotten it wrong is, as we've alluded to many times on this show, the people running the club. I got that sense of confidence when we got Maresca in the job. You started to see the blueprint. You started to see good players playing well, improving. And then you saw the culmination of that, or I think it's better to say it was more of a sneak preview of what they were capable of. We're able to dismantle PSG. And that's really a glimpse of, oh, maybe we have something here. Maybe we can build something special. I thought we had the right guy in charge, and it's been 3 months of cope, but ever since we got rid of him, I've just had that pit in my stomach of, we have absolutely fucked this thing over so badly. And yeah, I think it's I said it when he got sacked. I thought we went back to the Pochettino days, but we might be creeping into Potter territory. And we're going backwards. We are currently going backwards. All I see is media briefs of Rosignor and the board talking every day. Lord knows what those conversations sound like. But to keep briefing about the summer window, and mind you, we were out of the Champions League for 2 years. Oh, we can't get Champions League targets, all this, all that. Not only do we make Champions League, we win the Club World Cup. Oh, we're the world champions. We didn't do anything with that in regards to the transfer window.
Mm-hmm.
We signed Caicedo when we finished 12th. Like, we've done way more when we were in mud than what we've done now. And the past 2 summer transfer windows reflect that. So to brief that we're going to back this manager in the summer when the manager previous wasn't backed after the work he did, what are we doing? It's petty, and they're taking things personal. I'm starting to take their work personal because they're single-handedly sabotaging the club in my eyes. And I'm so glad that protest was organized when we are going to be there. I will gladly participate. Brilliant. It's truly awful what they've done to this club and the direction they are taking it, because at the time it made sense. You know, you got to rebuild. You have an aging core. Yeah, go get a bunch of young players, low wages. You got to bump up the good ones in due time, all that. Once you get to that stage where some of these players have developed, some haven't made it, at what point do we realize, oh, we are not that far away from seriously competing for a long time with this group of players and manager? But instead decide, no, we're the ones that know what we're doing. You're gone, and we're going to get another manager just to prove it. Well, congrats. I mean, I said it on my 5 things videos, but if we don't finish in a Champions League spot, it's absolutely what they deserve. It's absolutely what this group deserves for their work, because their work is shit. I think we're all seeing it now. I think everyone can see it now. Morons. Absolute idiots. I've got a few more words, but I will not say them on camera.
Smart man. Mila, I think you've been skeptical of the project since the start. So do you have any thoughts?
This is just what happens when you run it like a business. And I think that's what we've been saying from the very beginning, is if you want to run it like a business, you have to be happy with the results of the business. Sure, maybe they can sell players, but what does it matter? If they're appealing to like the technical shareholders of the club, then that's a problem, because the really the only shareholders that should matter in the larger scope of things is the fans, the people that go support the club daily. They live the club. And like, if you have Grant, not saying Grant is like a bad fan. Just saying Grant is a newer fan to the club. Like, he's already this passionate about it and feels this like let down by the board and the leadership of the club. Like, I can only imagine what a 50-year supporting Chelsea fan can feel about it. So if this is a general consensus around the fans, then it's clear that they've got it very wrong.
When's the last time you saw a general consensus with Chelsea fans?
It's a good point.
That's a great point.
I mean,
and I think you've brought it up
from
multiple
all
times, that this
sections.
is like the only thing that you guys can unite on. And sometimes that does a lot of good for the club, but it usually is when outside forces are attacking your club and you can unite, like, and just move forward as a full entity. But this is causing a split between the common man, the fan, and the people that own the club. That's not good.
It's private equity. It's private equity.
There's a major rift
do-
between the expectations from the fans too and what the club clearly sees itself as. Are you Brighton or are you trying to be Chelsea?
We operate like Brighton, and we think we can still be Chelsea while operating like that. It's a great way to put it. And I also do, again, I've done it before, but we got to clear Todd Bowley's name. He won't be on the thumbnail, obviously, but this is not his work. I just get annoyed when I see his picture on every news graphic when he's not even the guy in charge of the club. He was in charge for one window, and it's been Egbali and his group ever since. So it is those idiots who have those board members on 6-year contracts. But yeah, I guess you can call it cope in hindsight, but I was always of the thought, because again, this isn't a new perspective from you. You've been saying this is how it's going to go. I always thought, like, surely you would understand that they're ready to go. Like, I didn't think it was that foreign of a concept to realize, oh, all those young players are getting better now. It's time to go win. No, we're a year away still, and it's disgraceful, because when I think of what to look forward to, Quenda's coming in. He's 18 years old. I mean, like, that's the problem. That's the problem. Yep. And I have no confidence in them addressing this, because, in my opinion, if you address the problems in the team, which, in my opinion, obviously you need a left winger that can play week in, week out, and you need to get rid of all those center backs and bring in new ones. There's no chance that they get that right. There is no chance this group of directors get this right. So I really don't have hope. That and the left winger, but goalkeeper at this point too. They're not going to get it right. So I'm stuck for looking forward to, let's see, the 27-28 season. That's the one. Yeah. That's the one we're going to compete for the title in now, because of these idiots.
I think just looking back from where we all had Chelsea finishing in our previews, I think I had
second.
Yeah. And that was just a sentiment on the talent. And I think that maybe was bad in hindsight, just some Club World Cup tax. But this whole project is based around volatility, in the sense of you are only bringing in young guys, and young guys are pretty volatile for the most part. Like, asking young players to be good week in, week out is not okay. Like, that's not how that works. There's no club on planet Earth that does that. And the guys that are good week in, week out cost $300 million USD.
PSG have a younger team than us. Their
but
age is younger. But
right,
they have senior presence.
But they have senior presence. But even like
they have a Fabian Ruiz.
Like,
there's some good young players. Most of them know, though, is I think what you're saying. Like,
no. Look, young players can be good in spurts, but asking them to be good all season long is just not smart. And it's also, to your point about Saka, if you do ask them to be good for that long, you could potentially get them hurt. Because no child can go from being a child to playing with adults and just immediately hit that ground running. There is like one player on planet Earth that is doing that week in, week out right now, and he's like the next coming of Messi, right? So, like, you have ups and downs periods when they're that young. And like, even we were just talking about Nico O'Reilly, that he's 21. Your project is based around 20, like younger than that. That's crazy. And the idea that they are continuing to stick and not twist from that ideology,
it's crazy.
That's where honestly, it wasn't an experiment, that it was just like, okay, like, this is so crazy that maybe it will work. that it now has turned sour because honestly, the thing that I thought was going to make it work was the idea that you guys were just buying everything under the sun. But now the transfer strategy is to buy young
Market
players,
opportunities.
every young player under the sun.
The
They're all
issue
market
is
opportunities.
you buy those older players and they don't pan out, and you cannot recoup on them. And
Right.
that's the way they view the game. So if the game is viewed in money, there's no plus to buying an older player.
They're bad at that game too because they just got a sponsor. They haven't had a permanent sponsor, and they're talking about their businessmen where they're pretty shitty at that too, clearly. So I mean, it's crazy.
I think because it's a good like kind of segue. Who have been the best transfers this year?
João Pedro, Esteval. That's it.
But not for Chelsea, just in the league in general. Who have been the best signings? It's like Donnarumma, a guy like Acuna, Semenyo.
Not 20-year-olds.
Yeah, the point is that they're all older and have experience and have played at this level. Cherokee, this is honestly Cherokee would have been a guy that I would have looked at Chelsea's project and gone like, that could have worked.
We were going to sign him 2 years ago, but we thought, you know what, we're going to sign Chukwuemeka or some, you know what I mean? Like they're just picking names out of the hat, and that's the crazy part. Yeah. Some of the names that we were very close to, if we had gotten them, we would be having a very different conversation because it could have been a Hoyson, Olise, Ekatike, but like you just said, Mila, that is the game they are knowingly playing.
United have like 4 of our targets that we were close to. And imagine what City looks like with Maguire leading the back of the line. Like this is just how the game goes.
The young players.
Yep.
Yeah, but Maguire was a young player when we were looking at him.
Yeah, no, dude, he was the most touted after center back in England at the time. No, so it is a game of hits and misses.
We signed a 15-year-old like 2 months ago, bro. Like
see, that's the thing. It's frustrating when you completely miss in the bigger windows and then randomly will sign some unheard name or some football manager wonder kid name that isn't going to be ready for the next 5 years. Like that's where the frustration comes in. If you were buying both and the young wonder kids were part of the transfer thing, not the entire transfer strategy, then they have like kudos to them. I think there's something working there. But to completely ignore the experience, the first team. I mean, they're not ignoring the first team. They're just shoving these players in the first team. And
where it's more important,
you're throwing them in the deep end without any flotation device. The flotation device is the older, experienced players that can help you.
Chalobah.
Exactly. Like he is experienced, but that's not the guy you want starting. If he was just a locker room member, he'd be a great person to have in your team.
Yes.
Occasionally getting minutes, maybe almost like an Ake role. Obviously, Ake.
He was great last year.
Exactly. But when you put responsibility on those types of players, this is just the result of them trying to cheap out. You didn't want to go buy a quality, experienced player, and you went and got Tosin, who can do a job for you. But if you ask him to be that quality player, is not going to work out for you.
I mean, I think,
and that has happened over and over again for you guys, I think.
Yeah, perfect example. I think that sums us up. Like we have a pre-transfer for Omega in the summer, who's Strasbourg's captain, of course, the multi-club ownership. We didn't even talk about that, but obviously getting Rosinha from over there, Mamadou Sarr, their vice captain. But their other striker, who was supposed to be his backup, is the top scorer in the league. They can't even buy their own players right, or like it's crazy because there was no need to pre-agree a transfer for a striker in January, or I think they did it before January in like November. There was no need to do that when you just bought 2 strikers and have a third one still on the books on loan and a fourth one from Barca's academy recalled, but you still went ahead and did that. He has started 4 games, has been hurt all year, and his replacement is the top scorer in Ligue 1. So I think that sums them up perfectly. They just have zero clue or regard to what's going on in the first team and are a lot more prioritized and worried about how are we going to be able to recoup value.
Which is crazy because you guys didn't you guys have like a $400 million loss? Like
476, not including the selling shit to ourselves.
So yeah, to say that it's a business model and everything is business based, and then you're in the net negative is pretty fucking crazy.
Well, the business talk in reality is just their ability to find these loopholes and be able to find ways to maneuver it and spend the most, whatever, and keep a sustainable model. So I think their approach was, okay, so there's these XYZ loopholes. We are going to blast them with money. They're going to get shut up. And then at that point, we're done. They probably knew there would be a ban to some extent or some sort of restrictions on what they were doing. And then from that point, okay, well, we have enough assets to survive. That's
Yeah.
what it's seeming like to me in hindsight, what the whole approach was. And damn it, was I wrong?
To essentially
Was I so
legally
wrong?
essentially to legally cheat the system and
Facundo
to
would
get
love
it
to hear
this
that.
wrong is crazy. And I honestly, I just have no more energy to talk Chelsea.
Yeah, bro, that was the most energy you'll see from me for them for probably the rest of the season, bro. This guy's
Fair.
pissed me off, man.